Okay, so now it's January 26th of 2025. Today is the day that quote-unquote city is supposed to come by. 2 weeks, right? Or 2 weeks is up. I don't know what's going on, people. All I know is I'm being ripped off left, right, and center. Get rid of everything. That came out of the horse's mouth, Mrs. Gill's mouth. That came out of the horse's mouth, her son, right? The one that was standing out there in the front yard insulting me. Anyway, get rid of everything. Well, I'm being evicted from this house with the first stage of it being in the yard. Andre is a high-risk youth. Okay, so is this friend. Living in a terrible fucking community with kids running around with knives. We're talking 11, 12, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds running around with knives, brass knuckles, attacking each other out on the streets, attacking each other in the schools, slam dropping. That's where they grab the throat of a kid, these kids that do this shit, and then picking them up by the throat and then slamming them down on the ground. This is the shit that's going on at schools, out on the streets. And my son, my landlord in the city of Surrey, Marina's parents, people like that, people like that want Andre to have nothing to do in this yard except pull fucking morning glory for them when the time comes, so that it doesn't become too green when that shit just explodes because of what my son is doing at the direction of whoever, because you know that morning glory is fucking coming, okay? He's clearing out a path for this shit to just crawl like crazy. You don't even know, and I'm not pulling it, people. I'm not fucking pulling it. Because my landlords are finding any means necessary to try and kick me out anyway. They're going to use the yard again, even after everything that's happened. They're going to use the yard again, because they've always been using the yard against me. The fence is going to fall down. We'll watch and see. If you think it fell down, what I've showed you already, you watch and fucking see. So what are they going to do? Build a fucking new fence so that it looks good on the outside, but everything is rotten on the inside? Well, it kind of fits with the format, don't you think? Take it as is, right? Stay as long as you want. Don't worry. You'll never have to worry about the rent being risen, and just work like a dog outside, pulling that fucking morning glory for us. Oh yeah. But you don't have to build sheds. You don't have to build a fucking greenhouse. You don't have to get the freaking garden beds done, because that's already been done for you by the previous tenants. Anyway, I'm pretty disgusted with it all. So in the meantime, I'm back in September of 2011, when I really started recording the yard here, not thinking that I'd be going back into time and collecting evidence, because that's basically what I'm doing. Will it get me anywhere? No, because the people I'm dealing with are 100% corrupt, right? They're in bed with each other, they masturbate with each other, they get off on fucking hurting other people. You know, it's one big fucking orgy, right? It doesn't matter what group I'm dealing with. If I'm dealing with my son and his wife, they fucking attacking me and taking my shit and throwing it out and selling it and fucking giving it away and just letting it destroy itself in the elements because they threw it out into the fucking garage, or they throw it out onto the fucking back there so that it becomes a heat score. And then it's the fucking mother driving up taking my shit now, as she's talking bad about me, geeking her fucking daughter to continue doing what she's doing so that maybe the mother might get some more shit, because that's how it fucking works, right? You know, dad too, right? You know, who wouldn't want fucking new casters? It's not called a trolley, it's called a dolly. A dolly, I'm thinking trolley. I don't know if I said that right. And now Amari has picked up Andre's and Tisha's cold, and it's a chest cold of all colds. Oh yeah, as if things can't get better. And it's a bad one, really fucking bad. Great. In the meantime, you know, I mean, like, my son's even going as far as breaking down fucking compost boxes, people. Compost boxes that have been there for years, right? To control morning glory, and to have a place to put this fucking, you know, grass and weeds and everything that grows in this yard over a period of a growing season, because it really, really, really fucking piles up. Why do you think I have so many bins and buckets and like garbage bins to fill up with fucking weeds, man. But not anymore. No, that shit's just gonna go crazy. And he's just gonna come and weed whack it down, mow it, and it's gonna reroot itself, and it's gonna get 10 times worse, and then they're gonna come back and say, oh, it's too fucking green, it's too fucking weedy, you're not keeping up with the yard. You need to get out. Well, Andre's sitting, doing nothing. Can't build his fort with his little friend. Nothing. He's 14 years old, people. This is the age you want him trying to build something. So he can gain calm. And he likes working with tools. You see, that's the thing. These boys wanted to start building their fort in fall. And I said, no, it's going to get cold. Wait till spring. Don't worry. Spring will come. You'll have all spring, all summer to do it. And that's where they would have been. They wouldn't have been running the fucking streets acting like fucking hoodlums. They wouldn't have been acting like the fucking city, running around stealing people's shit. Like my fucking landlord stealing my fucking shit. Like fucking Marina and her fucking parents stealing my fucking shit. Well, my son's smiling up in my face, stealing my fucking shit. Telling me he loves me. Yeah, sure, you fucking love me. No, you don't. No, you don't. I'm gonna remind you, you don't. This is not love. Nothing. This, from 2011, is good wood. Okay? Don't you ever fucking accuse me of anything when I brought home good fucking wood so that you had a fucking house to live in for 14 fucking years without working in the yard because your mother did it. Oh, sure, he came out and did a little of this and a little of that. But, you know, it was like pulling teeth sometimes. And then he just completely shut down and said, it's not my responsibility, it's the landlord's responsibility. Fuck you, Mom. If you want to do it, you do it. Yeah. And he basically left me out there for years and years and years and years. Well, Mrs. Gill is expecting the fucking yard to be done because she's old. Yeah. As her fucking sons don't want to come and fucking help. As they play, well, my parents are old. You're taking advantage of them. You don't work hard enough. You sit on your ass. Yeah, okay, I just sat on my fucking ass. Yeah, that's all good wood. Do you see how nice and clean that wood is? There's nothing weather-worn about it. That's in 2011. All right? I didn't bring home weather-worn wood to build the things that I built, unless, of course, it was maybe for borders along the ground or something like that to control the weeds, people, and the morning glory, people, and the mud, and the drainage problem, people, and the sand, people, Like, I'm sick of this shit. You don't even know. People are so ungrateful. So fucking ungrateful. Just because you build a fucking fence after it all falls down. Because you know my son's making it easy now to fall down because there's nothing there to hold it up. Except a bit of chicken wire. No, I'm sorry. No, is it chicken wire it's called? Yeah, chicken wire. Except for fucking chicken wire that I had to pay for, people. That I paid for. So I'm going to tally up how much fucking chicken wire I had to buy for this stupid fucking yard over years to try and solve the problem that the landlords neglected, basically, and have used as a tool against me with the city to evict me as the city, the province, and the homeowners, property owners, property developers conspired to overinflate the housing market so that they could get rich in a very fast fucking time as they were flushing people out into the streets and then get even richer as people were dying from this trauma through illegal organ harvesting. That's how they were getting richer. Because they would target certain families. Those families where energy weapons go through the fucking house, and that's why the landlords don't want to work in the fucking yards, because they know they got energy weapons going through the house, and they've got the energy weapons going through the fucking yard. And then we wonder why people are dying in these houses if they're not dying out on the streets. Okay? So now my son's taking weather-worn, rain-worn wood, whether it's in a compost box, like I would have built compost boxes with this shit, or whatever. So you figure from 2011, he's ripping up compost boxes that are still effective. In other words, you can still use them, still holding their shape. And even if they were getting a little teetery-tottery, it's nothing to come in and brace them up with some weather-worn fucking pieces of wood just to secure their shape so that you had something to throw your fucking weeds in after the fact of weeding a weedy garden. Well, not even a garden, a freaking yard. Right? And make dirt, because otherwise you're just going to be stuck with landfill and sand and grit. Okay? They left me with sand, grit, and mud. And landfill. There was no dirt. And any dirt that there was infested with weeds along the side of the house. I'm just using like the fence on that side of the house. Outside of that, fuck no. So now he's going there, and because everything's weather worn, you're in the middle of winter, everything's gray, nothing's green, people are miserable because they're freezing their asses out there, right? You know, he's just terrorizing everything, okay? Making a big open space for that fucking morning glory to take bloom, along with every other weed. And you know the city's going to come in and say, oh, now it's too green. Why aren't you out here weeding? And then my son will just take his anger out on me because he'll say, I don't have time to fucking weed. It's enough I did what I did. Right? And then, yeah, his wife, Marina, will needle him. Oh, well, you know, your mom, to piss him off even fucking more. So he'll trash my life even fucking more while she's going behind him, helping him to do it. And smirking and laughing with her fucking mother. Yeah, okay. I don't think so, people. In terms of, I'm not going to stick around for it. Fuck no. One way or another, I'm not going to stick around. I can't, because they're killing me. These people are fucking killing me, and that's just the bottom fucking line.
Got bad kids, but I think we have a system.
Does that look like weather-worn wood? No. That's the first stages of me building over my landlord's garbage yard, because it was a garbage fucking yard, but I was stuck, and I had no choice unless I wanted to live in a garbage yard for the whole time that I lived here. And even then, they would have used their garbage yard against me, saying, why aren't you doing anything with that garbage yard? Full of morning glory and weeds and raccoon shit, sand and fucking cat shit. Why aren't you doing anything with it, Judy?
Problem in our society where, you know, with the internet, I know when I was a kid, I never talked.
So what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of looking at pictures and shit. Well, that's actually not true. I'm listening to what I'm talking about, and I'm taking fucking notes. Like when I did the last video with the, you know, from the past in terms of the yard or whatever, and I was talking about those damn leaky pipes. I forgot that they were fucking leaking on the inside like that for over a year while I lived here waiting for her to fucking fix them. Outside. All the outside taps were leaking and the inside taps. Yeah, I thought she fixed them sooner than what I thought she did, but no, she didn't. She fixed the outlets after I realized they were all fucking sparking. And I'm serious, every single fucking outlet was sparking when I moved in, upstairs, downstairs. And it took like 2 months to get that fucking done. And then the pipes just didn't get done because this was done in September of 2011. I moved in November, people, of 2009. Well, I took the house over in 2009, and I moved the family in, like I said, in December, on December 15th of 2009. And by the 24th of December 2009, I couldn't wash my dishes in the sink. I couldn't do my fucking laundry. Joan and whoever was downstairs couldn't wash their fucking dishes in the sink. They couldn't do fucking laundry. And it was like that for over 2 weeks. Until after the new year, when she finally had somebody come in and snake out the pipe. But she never did fucking fix the leaky fucking pipes underneath the sinks. Clearly, because I was crabbing on about it in September of 2011. So that was well over a year that we lived with that shit. Just like up here. I lived up here just recently. Edgar finally, after 2.5 years of my upstairs sink fucking leaking like a sieve upstairs, he came by and he finally fixed it for me. And Edgar is Marcane's friend. She paid for that. Her excuse to not fix it was her guys don't like doing small jobs. It was my responsibility to find somebody to fix it for her fucking cheap. I couldn't find anybody to fix it for her cheap for 2.5 years. Okay? So it's not the first time and it wasn't the fucking last time. Right? That's what I mean. Like, it's stupid. My landlady has got my son fucking evicting me from my fucking yard where my grandson can't even learn how to fucking use the tools. Because he took away all the material for him to build a little fort for himself with another high-risk youth so that they had something to do in the fucking yard and not run the streets. Do you understand what I'm saying here? So if that's the case, and it's like living in a concentration camp. Between my landlord, my son, definitely his fucking wife, because she treats me, I don't know, people, I've never met a person like her, ever. She's the worst of anybody I've ever met in my whole fucking life, okay? That says something. Because she uses my son as a fucking shield to be the bitch that she is, and it's not fair to me and the kids. And it makes me scared for my son. Because if she's going to treat me and the kids the way she does, what do you think she's going to do when she's fucking mad at my son? You know? When the time comes, what? Does he honestly think sex is going to hold them to fucking together for the rest of their lives? Unless, of course, he likes to be deviant, hurtful, spiteful, fucking mean. What is that called? When you demolish things. Destructive. I mean, if he wants to be that way for the rest of his life, then fine, I can see them getting along. But that's not his character, people. It is now, though. But don't fucking tell me you love him when you mistreat his family because of whatever sick shit goes on in your stupid mind. As soon as I'm gone, if he doesn't please you, give you what you want, what do you think's going to happen to my son, people? You think she's just going to walk away and let him be free after she destroyed his fucking family without him even fucking catching a clue with it? And made him do it for her so that she can be in some sick fucking control of God knows what? No, she's got a fucking life insurance policy on him, okay? The clock is ticking. The clock is fucking ticking. And as fast as he's dead, she'll just move on to another one. All right? Actions speak louder than words. Well, my landlady is counting her fucking money in her fucking coffin. Because you know her family members are going to make sure she's got a bag of it in her fucking coffin so that she can feel fucking rich even in death. Because that's all it's about, people. So she doesn't have to look back, my landlord. So she doesn't have to look back at the damage that she caused to innocent people so that she could have that fucking bag of money right next to her in a fucking coffin. Because she'll be looking at the money before she'd look at what she did to other people.
Disrespectful to my mother under any circumstances, really. And when I was asked...
It's been nothing but fucking stress. since I moved into this house. But I had no means to move out because I'd already lived at that fucking fourplex with that grow-op that almost fucking killed me. Okay? Costs money to move. It cost me something like $2,500 to move fucking my family in here, and there was 9 of us when I moved us in, people. You do the fucking math. And I had to buy shit. I had to buy fucking another bed for Joan and John, and I had to set up a fucking second kitchen, and that's another thing. This girl moves in, convinces my son all of a sudden, after all these years, to start throwing out all my shit in the fucking basement. No, bitch, you moved into a fucking, what is that called? Furnished fucking basement. Whatever was in that basement wasn't yours to fucking throw out. Whether you used my son to do it or not. Because that's what she does, people. She hides behind my fucking son. She geeks him up. She feeds into his fucking grudges. She pisses him off. She turns him against us so that she can be in power. She's a fucking Joan Duncan, only 1,000 times worse. Okay? Joan was the same way. Puking, anorexia, bulimia, taking this pill, that pill, another 15 pills fucking later, going in and out of the fucking hospital every 2 fucking weeks in an ambulance because she liked the attention. But at the end of the day, she was nothing but a fucking shit disturber. Got people to fucking choose sides because, oh, woe was her. It was always about her and what she needed and what she fucking wanted. And she got John to try and fucking choose sides, got everybody fucking fighting, going around stealing, just to cause trouble. But at the end of the day, that woman has some serious fucking mental health issues. And yeah, throughout her life, she was going in and out of the fucking mental institution so she could rest. Because she just couldn't cope with it anymore. Yeah. Why do you think John ended up with me? Because he couldn't fucking cope with her. But she got old. And he didn't want her to be by herself in an old folks home in fucking Victoria with nobody from his family, Eleanor Gilding, going to visit her. Because he already knew what his family was like. So we had her come over here. And then she caused nothing but trouble for me. Right? Well, that's what moved in. Times a Julian Johnson that's plotting and scheming how to knock somebody off so they can get something out of it. And in this case, it would be a life insurance policy. Because we're dealing with middle-class fucking people who have absolutely no fucking morals. And they'll go as far as to drive from far, far, far away. Her mother moved away, people. They live far fucking away. Why is she over here as they're running around in the yard, gathering up my shit, putting it on fucking line, selling it, giving it away, and the mother just happens to drive up, and it's a fucking 2-hour drive from where she came? No, she came to pick up my shit. And then she didn't even have the decency to talk to me. Instead, she wanted her fucking daughter and giggle and act like she was fucking 5 years old and got caught with her fucking hand in the candy jar as she was stuffing her fucking face with candy. Because she'll do it again. Because it makes them feel empowered. And this is what my son is fucking hanging out with. He chooses that over his mother and his nephews. Yeah. Don't be surprised if my son isn't dead by the time he's 50. If he doesn't fall out of a tree, it will be a sudden accident on the highway. Or maybe he'll just get sick and sicker and sicker, and he'll be too stupid to realize why he's so fucking sick when he sips on the soup that bitch makes him. But I won't be around to see it. And it will be too late. And then they can cash in and go fucking have a party with Eleanor Gilding. Because this is the kind of people we're dealing with. You want to talk bad about me? My rotten wood in the fucking yard? Well, there's that rotten fucking wood. This was 2011, 13 fucking years later. Okay, so what? My son's running around and throwing out some weather-worn, rain-worn fucking boards that have been in this yard for 13 fucking years to hold back the fucking grit, the mud, the sand, the water fucking drainage problems, the fucking morning glory, the raccoon shit, the cat shit, everything else that goes on in this stupid fucking yard. And yeah, Andre's a good kid, okay? And he's still moldable. Because he's, growing, and he's not out there running the streets acting like a petty fucking thief at the direction of his nana. Okay? He was so excited with Jude to build this fort, and these bastards, I don't care who they are, took that away from him and turned my yard into a fucking concentration camp. With a bunch of fucking slaves working in it for nothing other than what they can sell on the side when nobody's looking. And make a little bit of change. Right? Other than that, they just, yeah. So, why would these people want Andre to have nothing to do? When his nana's only been building in this fucking yard for 12 fucking years. And now Andre can't do shit because everything's on lockdown. It's become a concentration camp. And the only time you're allowed to go out in the fucking yard is when you weed it. Because you know the weeds are coming. And maybe do a repair with new wood. Not weather-worn wood, with new wood. Because you have to spend your own fucking money to do the fucking repairs for the fucking landlord. Because for whatever reason, the landlord is old and they can't do it. So therefore it becomes your responsibility even though they got able-bodied fucking sons. Okay. So you see, Amari and I, we're on a 4 o'clock in the morning schedule here. Because I'm so exhausted, I fall asleep and then my body just wakes up around anywhere between 3 and 5 usually, and then I'll stay up for a few hours, and if I can, I try and lay back down and catch a cat nap. But this fucking booze can next door, they're always booming. Interesting how the city doesn't do anything about that though, eh? Yeah, it's because they're collecting information on people, that's why. All the pimps and hoes and gangsters in the hood going to the booze can to the after hours. Yeah, that's why the city lets that fucking go on. Right? And don't forget, prior to that, that little garage was a fucking makeshift kitchen for orders for food. Whether it was just delivery food or for fucking Kelsa schools or whatever the hell it was. So they're always running a scammy business in that garage. But yeah, no, we listen to this booming 24/7. It's pathetic. So disgusting. But I guess when it benefits the cops in the city and, collecting that information, getting the goods on the hoes and the pimps and the fucking gangsters and the drug dealers, because they all like to go to after hours, right? But these guys, they run it 24/7, almost 7 days a week. That's all you hear is boom, boom, boom in the background. But I wanted to say that, just because a person is going blind or, is aging and developing disabilities around that aging, in my case it would be going blind, right? That's a big one for me, eh? And plus I don't have the body stamina like I used to because, I'm 60, almost 63 now. So I'm not as strong as I was when I first moved in. Not that I was strong. Here's some Vicks. I'll put some Vicks on him. He's catching Andre's chest. First it was Tisha. Tisha's had it for weeks. Like weeks and weeks. It's a deep, heavy chest cold. As if I need that right now with Amari, right? And then Andre got it. And Andre's had it for like a week. And so far, Amari hasn't got it, but it seems like he's got something now. Oh, joy. So I'm hoping it doesn't get too bad, because it's one that lingers and produces a lot of congestion. And a lot of phlegm. And because he doesn't move around very much, you know, it could what is that called? Fill up in his lungs, right? So I have to be careful. And you know, if you're disabled like me with the eyes, getting at that point, you know, injured or whatever you want to call it, compromised, right? And then you know, you're caring for someone like Amari, like I am, which makes you even more vulnerable to attack by people that are predators, right? Like, I'm dealing with nothing but predators here that are like a pack of fucking hyenas picking off the weakest of the weak in the herd. And I'm the weakest in the herd. And that's why they're doing it. It's not right. It's not fair. So don't get sick. Don't go blind. Don't get injured. I don't care if you're at work. Don't get injured. You know? I don't care if you're at home doing yard work for yourself or for your landlord. Don't get injured, because as soon as you get injured, out comes the predators, and they will definitely, more than likely, find a way to fucking attack you and hurt you and take everything away from you, because you're not strong enough to fight back. I know. What is Nana doing? I'm putting Vicks on you. I'm babysitting. I got children over here sleeping. Andre's sleeping. He stayed up late for a while waiting for the mother to come pick up the kids, but I guess she's left them for the night. She mentioned something about that, but she didn't come right out and say it, so anyway, I guess she'll be by in the morning to pick up her kids. But she's gonna maybe help me to start putting some stuff online to start selling. Help me to pick and choose what's not important before it's robbed. And then it becomes important because somebody robbed it because of value. But as it is, there's no value to it right now, so it's just going to be used against me. Just like fucking whatever's going on in the yard was used against me. Just like whatever was in the basement was used against me. But if you notice, a whole lot of people fucking have profiteered off of this shit for one reason or another. Alright? For one reason or another. Don't start biting your hand. So before I let them rob me again, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to let go. Because it's like my landlady said, I'll never have another house like this. Yeah, okay. Maybe that's a good thing. Who would want to move into another evil fucking house? I wouldn't. Hell no. Hell fucking no. If I would have known how evil this place was, if I would have had a choice to subject myself to energy weapons before I went out there and fucking did everything that I did outside, not to mention them going through my house, because I've got them documented going through my house as well. So I could be hit up with energy weapons right now for all I know. But the camera might pick it up, because the camera does that. But you'd have to be running a fucking camera all the time. Here's some apple plum juice that Nana made. I made this just for you. Here you go. Take it. Stop being so stubborn. Come on. I don't want you to get dehydrated. No. Yeah. There you go. He threw it down. He's being pickly right now. So we're sitting here at 4:35 o'clock in the morning listening to the boom boom next door. It wakes me up. It gives me a headache when I'm sleeping. Doesn't matter. Because it's all the time. No. But, no, People are dumb. They go there not realizing that they're getting the goods written up on them. Right? Come on. Oh, my Lord. Okay, do you see what's going on now? So I'm just laying here, recharging his battery. Last night I needed my battery recharged. I said, Amari, come here and cuddle with Nana. She needs to recharge her battery. I'm so, oh, you don't even know. When Shmay was murdered, and, obviously I got Amari, right? I was still working in the yard, people. Oh, it was frightening in those days. Because, right? Especially after he had his seizures. But he didn't start his seizures till late. Everybody thought he was going to get seizures as a baby, but he never did. I don't remember exactly when he got his seizures. Something like 2 years ago. Something like 2 years ago. Where's your face there? Something like 2 years ago he got his seizures. Right? And, do you see yourself? Yeah? Is that Amari? Yeah, it sure is. And I was still working in the yard 2-3 years ago or whatever. I don't know. I just know that I'd be working and Audrey would come to me and say, Nana, Amari puked. Because I'd have to leave Amari inside for the most part, right? Because it gets rough at that workout site. Like, you get filthy. Literally, it's like working in a mud pit at certain times of the year, right? I'd come running upstairs, and that's when we discovered he was having seizures, right? I still went outside and worked for these people, because they always made me feel like I had to. I had no choice, because they always used the yard against me, right? No, stop it, okay? Stop it. And that's just not right. And now that I'm going blind and all this other shit, they're really going in for the kill. Yeah. Yeah. And my son doesn't want to deal with the fucking city, so he's wiping out the yard and turning it into the concentration camp that they want. Because that's basically what it's become. A fucking concentration camp, as if. Like it's stupid. They'd rather Andre roaming the fucking streets, fucking acting like a fucking hoodlum, so they don't have to look at themselves for the hoodlums that they are. They just pick on the young kids and say they're the hoodlums, robbing people, right? Never mind they rob people, they just rob people in a different kind of way. That's where they would rather have Andre. That's where my landlords would rather have Andre. Running the fucking streets, robbing people, so that he can be the next generation of body parts. Once he gets to a certain age and his number gets fucking called, because he's just a useless bum, living under the tree, homeless. Right? They set the stage for this shit, people. Just stupid shit. I have a video that I want to put up. There's 2 parts to it, right? I got it on fucking hold right now. I'm not going to delete it, but I'm not going to upload it right now. Because, of all this crazy shit going on. And, there's things in there that I said, yada, but I'm not rehashing it. At some point, maybe I'll put that video, there's one part 2, right? In regards to, the children's hospital and, what's going on with my son and the yard and yada. But people, before they accept any responsibility for stealing my stuff, destroying my stuff, selling off my shit, doing whatever, calling me this, calling me that, they're not going to take no responsibility for nothing, people. They're just going to keep trying to hurt me because they know I can't see very well. They know I don't want to say elderly because I don't necessarily feel elderly, but when you're 63 and worn out, right, because, you are looking after a disabled child, right, and, you go, right, and then you have this shit happen to you as if that doesn't suck up energy, right? They know it easy pickings for them. They don't have to take responsibility. Right? Especially when they're operating like a gang. The city, my landlords, my son, Marina, and her fucking parents, her sisters, all their friends. Right? Stupid. But do you see any of them looking after Amari? No. And now that I can't go out in the yard because of, I guess in part because of Amari, because I'm required to do more things on the inside, not to mention what happened with my eyes, which makes it harder. All of a sudden I've become this big-ass fucking bigger villain, but you don't see me stealing nobody's shit. You don't see me vandalizing people's shit with intent to hurt. Nope. You don't see me selling other people's fucking shit that doesn't belong to me so I can make money. But everybody I mentioned, to one degree, like that bin, they're not going to throw out all that shit. Fuck no. They're going to take some of that for themselves. They're going to give it to these fucking immigrants moving into these subsidized housing as families like mine are being kicked out by the fucking city. They're just clearing it out for the fucking next immigrant family coming in with a freaking subsidy, federal, provincial, and municipal, with the fucking My Toys. Here, we're going to give you a couple of outside play toys, being that you're a new immigrant to the country and you have little 5-year-olds running around. We thought you'd like it. And that immigrant family will have no clue where that shit came from. Well, it came from my yard, and my grandkids couldn't play with it. Yeah, well, everybody's talking bad about me that I didn't do shit for nobody, even though they're all walking off with my crap. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Like, who'd want to come back to the planet when there's things like that running around? You know, and there's so many of them because if they're not fucking money hungry, and that's all they want is money, 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 you know, they want the power, they want to be in control, and, you know, like fucking Marina. It's not that she's getting a lot of money out of this, because she's not, but she's definitely fucking power tripping, and she's using my son to fucking do it, right? As if she fucking invested 14 years into anything when it relates to quote-unquote this house, but yet she feels she can take over everything. Take over the basement, take over the fucking garage, take over the fucking laundry room, take over my fucking storage rooms, right? Take over my fucking food, right? My fucking fabric, half of it just fucking appeared. The rack went outside, so you might as well say she took over my fucking fabric, opening in my fucking boxes, taking out what she wanted, putting fucking Borax where food was, where Borax should not be. Just stupid shit. Right? And now she's in the yard giving away my crap. Telling everybody I'm a piece of shit. As she's giving away my crap. Or selling it. Stupid. Well, fucking stupid. But do you see any of them looking after Amari? Fuck no. They're taking advantage of it. Shmay died. I was still working in the yard. The last 2 years, not so much. No, hardly anything. I tried to do something this year, right? I tried to do a little bit of fence repairs for my landlord, but just with the needs of Amari and the laundry piling up and, you know, and just everything, and my son throwing all that shit out, and I'm having to fucking figure out what to do with it before I lose more money. But just, like, I have lost, since Marina's moved in, I'd put it well over $10,000 worth of shit. If you had to put a dollar. Yep. Including now. What's going on now? Maybe more. Who knows? And they're not done yet. Because I can't see and I can't protect myself. And I'm looking after a disabled child. And because of that, it makes it easy for them to attack me. and hurt me and destroy my life and put Andre into a concentration camp where he can't even build a fucking fort with his friends so they can stay off the fucking street. I said, Andre, play in the yard. We got a big, beautiful yard. You can do things in the yard. Oh, I want to build a fort. Okay, no problem. If it keeps you off the fucking streets, keeps you from growing up to be a fucking thief and a hoodlum, yeah, no problem, right? Why not? I got all the wood. It's not perfect, but we got it, you know? We've got all the tools. We got all the fucking nails. We got everything. And if we really need help from Uncle Marcaine to cut something, because I can't cut it, I'm willing to cut fucking 2x4s and all that shit. I just don't want to do plywood because it buckles when you're cutting it, right? The closer you get to the end. And I don't want it buckling on me with my eyes. But 2x4s and shit like that, I could have fucking cut for Andre. But I don't have 2x4s anymore because my fucking son threw everything out because the city and my landlord said get rid of everything. And he's taking it for face value and doesn't want them to come back and fucking harass him for nothing. So he's getting rid of it all. That's how he's thinking about it. But little does he know that they are going to come back, because they're going to come back saying it's too fucking green because there'll be too many fucking weeds everywhere, including Morning Glory, with no compost boxes or anything to fucking help solve that problem. So you jump, what is it, from the fire to the frying pan. That's basically what my son is doing. He's jumping from the fire to the frying pan. As his wife is egging him on because she knows she can give things to her family members, to her friends, if she's not selling it. Because they're not giving me the money. If they're making money off this shit. Just like my landlord's walking off with my shit. This bin that she got coming in, this is a company that she fucking deals with. They probably give her a discount on the bin because they get good stuff being put into it. Yeah, I bet you. Because, you know, she's been doing this shit for a long time. You think this is the first fucking time she's done this, people? Obviously not, because there's profit behind it. There's something behind it. They get something from it. And that's what they do. They attack the weakest of the weak while they do it. You know what happened yesterday? I just gave him finish his juice there. I gave him a bath, right? And as we were getting out of... Oh my Lord. That sounds like a dry cough. But it turns into a really phlegmy one. It turns into a really phlegmy one. Yeah. Kyrie got it first, I guess, and then Tisha. Well, Tisha's been sick for weeks with it, really. It comes and it goes. And then Kyrie got something with green boogers and congestion, and then Andre got it, and he's had it for like a week and a bit. And now maybe Mari is coming down with it. I don't know. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I gave him a bath. And I couldn't ask my son to help me with that, not with what's going on. Like, I was so surprised to see that mother there. Like, you don't even know. You don't even know how that hurts my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been waiting to try and talk to one of their like her father, or preferably her mother, right? I thought her mother would be a little more sympathetic, but clearly she's not. Which tells me she encourages it. That's how they were raised. So you can't expect anything different. That's why Marina's so comfortable being the way she is with me, right? Anyway, so I gave Amari a bath by myself. It's just a little harder. Andre had to help me just to make sure I didn't fall when I was carrying him, just because he's long and lanky, and, you know, help me just whatever I need help with, right? Anyway, as I was getting out of the bathtub and holding him and ready to stand up, do you know what this little bugger did? He was standing on his, like I said, he's getting long and lanky. He was standing on his left leg, people. Literally putting his weight on his left leg. Yeah. And standing And I'm like, holy shit, Amari, you can do that? But that's the leg that's displacing. That's the hip that's displacing out. Because he's constantly doing stuff with it, I guess. I guess that's what it is. He swings it over so that he can flip up and then pull and then do whatever he does, right? So with him doing this constantly, and he does it with a lot of force because he's really, really strong that way. Strong enough that he can even stand on his freaking foot now and put the whole weight on the whole leg. Oh my God. I was like amazing. I couldn't believe that he did that. And I'm like, holy shit, Murray. If I didn't know better, I think you were standing on your leg. But I know better. He was standing on it, but he wouldn't have been able to stand on it for very long, clearly. And this is another reason why I kind of want hip replacement, because I did see a study, people, where they said that, you know, the mortality rate wasn't any higher than anything else that they've been doing when it comes to, you know, dealing with children with cerebral palsy with their hips coming out. And as a matter of fact, the healing rate was a lot faster and the results were better, right? And but for whatever reason, Dr. Moreau Prairie disagrees. Now, I don't know if it's because of age or maybe he's just not aware of that study, but in a situation where Amari actually can stand on his left leg, literally, this is where hip replacement would be handy to have with the right physiotherapy to, you know, encourage the healing process. Because you only like a hip replacement in terms of a healing process is, I don't know how many weeks it is. I don't know if it's 6 weeks up to 3 months or something like that. That's a whole lot better than what do you call it? What Dr. Malpre is trying to offer in regards to spreading his legs apart, which they can't even do. They can't even do it. For 8 months to a year, with no guarantees that he won't have to operate again within that time period or after the fact of that time period. So what difference does it make, hip replacement or whatever Dr. Marpre is trying to do? Because Dr. Marpre is already telling me, well, we'll probably have to operate again because there's a 30% chance of this. Oh, we'll probably have to operate again because there's another 30% because chance of this. Oh, we'll probably have to operate again because of another 30% chance of that. So that's 30% chance of this, that, and that over there. That's a 90% chance that they're going to have to operate again because one of three things could happen in the space of 8 months to a year. So you get a 10% chance only, really, when you think about it, where they won't have to. All to prevent pain, as they're creating massive amounts of pain. Okay? Like, it's stupid. And if I tell Dr. Marpere, oh, you know, come on, he stood up in the bathtub, literally stood up in the bathtub, and acted like he was standing on his, because he's long and lanky, so when I hold him, his feet are actually touching the floor now, right? He's not little anymore, eh? And like, he was literally standing on his left leg. I couldn't believe it, like, in the bathtub. And I'm like, Amari, stop doing that. I'm not going to be able to lift you up and take you out of the bathtub, right? Because he liked it. He was proud of himself, people. That's what I mean. These people that are destroying my life, they're destroying... I'm sitting up so he can cough it out, right? He drank his juice. He's got Vicks on him now. So now I'm going to be paranoid with this for fucking days, especially if his chest gets really congested. Because he's not like us, right? He doesn't move around like us. And and this chest cold is a really bad one. I had to buy Buckley's cough and chest congestion for Andre because that's what Tisha said to do because it's so bad. So Andre's like taking Buckley's cough syrup and chest congestion. I have to now maybe order for him. But this is what I mean. They're going to take advantage of this situation, right? You know, it's bad enough I struggle with fucking lack of eyesight. It's bad enough I've been struggling with having my shit thrown out of the fucking basement. How dare you? You move into a fucking furnished suite and you throw out the fucking landlord's fucking shit all out into the fucking garage and you sell it and you give it away and you throw it in a garbage can. And like, who does that? Who moves into a fucking furnished suite and just starts gutting the fucking place and then be rude to the fucking landlord yet? Oh, I'm not the landlord. Mrs. Gill is. Well, there you go. Mrs. Gill's got you now out in the fucking yard working like a freaking you-know-what nigger. You know, field nigger, really, people, because that's exactly what it's about here. But I guess their pay is stealing my shit. She's not paying, Mrs. Gill's not paying them to fucking do this, but Mrs. Gill has given them the permission to sell my shit, give my shit away, as they're throwing out the rest of the shit that they don't want. And then talk trash to me. Make threats on me. Well, what do you want me to do, on Mrs. Gill, so the city can come finish cleaning it up? Well, I don't know. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to borrow more money on my fucking personal loan so I can pay the fucking fine, $10,000 for the city to come and fucking clean up Mrs. Gill's fucking mess because she neglected it for 14 fucking years, treated me like a field you-know-what, and expected miracles from me where their miracles could not be found? And you damn well know she's coming back next year, and if it won't be next year, it'll be the year after when it's too fucking green. I'm surprised they're not saying it's too fucking gray right now. They came one year, I have it on video, okay, talking about that shit. They came here saying everything was too fucking gray. It was April. Had me out there fucking painting fucking whatever I could to put color to it because it was too fucking gray. How do you deal with a gray yard in fucking as you're coming out of winter? That's sick. And then they showed up and said it was too fucking green. They weren't complaining about this, that. They were complaining that it was too fucking green. And then they had me going around cutting fucking this, and everything green. You don't think they're not going to come back in a year or two saying it's too fucking green? No. And then they're going to evict me? So they can bring in a fucking immigrant family and then bring back my fucking toys that they fucking robbed from me and give it to the immigrant family because they're nice fucking people, like the fucking thing that rolled up outside in the back and walked off with my shit. As she's encouraging her daughter to fucking get more shit for her. And then smiling up my son's face saying, I like you. You're a good son-in-law. Yeah. We know why you like him. You're looking for your next fucking meal ticket. That's exactly. You're another fucking Eleanor Gilding. That's exactly what you are. That's bullshit. And the thing is, they already know this girl downstairs got some fucking mental illness of some kind. They already know it, people. I heard my son fucking talking to her one time, saying, you know, I've been dealing with your mental illness. I've given you time. I've done this. I've done that. Like, you know, do something about it. She herself told me that she had fucking issues. That's why she went to go work in a fucking fabric store. Because she couldn't work with a bunch of fucking women at the fucking wherever she was when she was dealing with prescriptions or whatever when it came to the healthcare system. She couldn't cope with the fucking job because she couldn't cope with the fucking women that were working in the office with her. Or the pressure in general. So she quit. And then she went and got herself a job in a fucking fabric store. Whoop-de-doo. Like I said, Joan Duncan times Julian Johnson. And what did Julian Johnson do? He murdered Shimei. He thought he was going to get the baby. And his mom cashed out on a fucking car insurance scam. So much so that a year and a half or whatever it was after Shimei was dead, money was laundered into her account through that fucking scam. And she bought herself a fucking house. Because that's how they do it. And she worked in the same prenatal clinic that Shimei was going to, as in Shimei's medical records after the fact of being murdered and dead. And I got them. Says that Shimei got no fucking prenatal fucking care. That's bullshit, because they try to fucking suggest that maybe she was some street junkie. Yeah, okay. No, Julian's mother was working at the same fucking prenatal fucking clinic as a receptionist, touching everybody's files that Shimei was going to while she was pregnant. Anyway, it's stupid. People are so dirty when it comes to money and ego. So fucking dirty. They'll do almost anything for money. And if they think that they can convince themselves that they're better than you, even if it means that they have to fucking hurt you over and over and over and over again, so they can continue to, I guess, be better than you because they steal your shit. I don't know what makes you think that you're better than me when you steal my fucking shit. But it doesn't matter what you do with it, you're still stealing it. And you're not satisfied to steal it once. You're not satisfied to steal it twice. You're not satisfied to steal it 3 times. You go for 4 times, and you know they got their eyes on it, this shit up here. As my landlord is plotting and scheming about the next fucking attack with the morning glory, because it will be too fucking green. And that's exactly the way they'll put it. It was too green. The yard is too green. In the middle of fucking summer, right before it gets real hot. In other words, at the peak of its growing season. Then they'll come and say it's too fucking green. And you think my son's going to treat me nice? That he's going to have to go out there fucking weeding this shit all the time and then have the fucking city start razzing his ass because it's too fucking green? Do you honestly think those people downstairs, my son and his wife, are going to treat me well with that issue coming? Because it's coming. No, it will just give him another reason to abuse me even more, to be meaner to me, to hurt me even more, to take more away from me. Mm-hmm. With the rest of the hoodlums coming in, scooping up on the things that they can scoop up on. Because they're nothing more than fucking hoodlums. As they're teaching Andre this shit and want him to become a hoodlum as well, so that they can justify their behavior. And that's why they're taking everything away from him in this yard. So he has nothing to fucking do but become a fucking hoodlum. With a mixed modge-podge of emotions that are severely sick and twisted, with no moral direction. Can I go out and do something in the yard, Nana? Build this? I go, well, no, you're not allowed. You're not allowed. Don't you remember? Everything was robbed from us. We have nothing for you to build with anymore. We have the nails, we have the tools, but we don't have the fucking materials to do it. Or the permission to do it because the landlord has decided that they want flat fucking grass even though it's mostly fucking weeds. No. What do you think Andre's going to do? Is he going to grow up to be a carpenter? Fuck no. My landlord took that opportunity away from him to even try it. Right along with the city and my son and his wife. And their associates. Wherever those associates are within that group. And then they wonder why Andre grew up to be a fucking bum living under a tree. But it benefits my landlord to have Andre grow up a bum living under a tree because it becomes available body parts that nobody's going to miss. Mm-hmm. Same thing with the city, because you know they're getting their fucking kickbacks. As for my son, c'est la vie. I'm free. I'm not responsible to anything other than a wife that's plotting and scheming something, and he'll be too fucking stupid to see it, and then he'll just be a big payout after it's all said and done. So a whole family got wiped out because of lousy fucking landlords that targeted a family for body parts and for ego and for money. There's not that many left of us to pick off anymore, people. Nope. Amari's on the fringe with his disability, with the weight and everything. I'm on the fringe with my eyes, my age. Andre's on the fringe because he can't even build a fucking fort with his friend in his own fucking yard that he grew up in as he was building things with me outside when he was young. Remember, I built the fucking hen house with him, which was first a playhouse. So it's in his memory already. But they're not even letting him tap into it. They're put him in a fucking concentration camp. Reminding him where he's going to end up. Because he's not going to be able to live up to their expectations. Because they made sure that he didn't learn anything. Including being a carpenter. Okay, so I think I'm going to end it here because I don't want to drag it out too long. Look at him, he's just being a little fucking cuddle bug. He loves cuddling, man. He's not even trying to get away. He's recharging my battery. I'm recharging his battery. Yeah? Hey, Amari? Oh, boy. See, now, I get tired easy. I'd like to cat nap, but I have a mild headache. But besides that point, I suppose it doesn't matter. If Amari survives whatever's going on with him, even though he can stand, doctor wants to cut the bone, or whatever. If he survives all of that, people, and I survive what I'm going through, because we're in survival mode. Seriously, we are being attacked by a bunch of fucking hyenas, left, right, and fucking center. We're the weakest of the weak. And if we survive, we're not going to require very much. Outside of, well, I know what I need for Amari. Whether I get it or not remains to be seen. I don't know. I figure I have to give him his hugs now while I'm here, because after I'm gone, honestly, I don't think anyone's going to cuddle with him. I really don't. I don't think anyone's going to recharge his little battery. Love him for him. However he is, it doesn't matter. Cuddle with him because it's good for his emotions and it's good for his body. I don't think anyone's going to do this for him. I really don't. And it makes me so sad just thinking about it. Because he'll be lonely. He'll be lonely. He'll miss me. I tell Andre when I'm gone and I die, make sure you have Amari sit beside you real close so he can feel you. Hold him every now and then if you can. If not, at least have him sit real close to you so that your shoulders are up against each other, and maybe he's got his hand on your stomach or something where he can, to recharge his little battery, to make him feel safe, right? To make him feel secure, to make him feel loved. Will Andre do that? I don't know. Maybe not. Just recharging his little battery. So his cold maybe will not get too bad. Right? Amari gets so heavy. It's dead weight. And I don't have a lot of body mass. Ugh. My son's gathering up all the metals. He's wiping out the yard of everything. I have these round furnace pipes that if you wanted to do something for that greenhouse in order to heat it up so that you can continue to grow plants in the summertime, in the wintertime, by running heat in there, however you set it up, whether you use a rocket stove to do it, or whether you use a heating fan to do it, or whatever, right, through electricity or something, right? And you want to redirect your heat through these pipes, that's why I have them. Right? Because, no, don't grab the camera. Because over the years, YouTube videos, and I'd find things, and I could use that maybe to do a video on running a pipe to heat the greenhouse or whatever. It's part of the materials that we need to build something with. It's part of the materials. Whether I built it, Andre tried to build it, or whether even my son. You see, my son doesn't care. So because he doesn't care, it's easier for him to throw out everything. Because he doesn't want it to be a heat score for the city to come back and say, you got fucking furnace pipes in your yard, and you're not allowed to heat your greenhouse, so therefore, we're going to get your landlord to evict you because of that shit. Because this is your last warning not to have that shit. Because you're supposed to live in an empty yard full of weeds, right? Basically, in a concentration camp, waiting for the next attack. Because isn't that what they do in the fucking concentration camp? They keep coming back and they fucking attack you, right? Make it so that you become real skinny and, and they work you to death. Isn't that what they do? Well, that's what they've been doing with me all these years. Right? And then they eventually get you down on your knees and they fucking execute you. Or they gas you. Either or, they remove you off the planet. It doesn't matter how they do it. They just get rid of you once they're done fucking using you. Well, it's the same stupid shit. Right? Again, those metal round pipes that, furnace pipes, right? That Marcane's throwing out, he's giving away everything, people. Jude and Andre can't even fucking do anything. Nothing. They want these kids to be fucking hoodlums, running the fucking streets, man, so they can justify when they accuse them of growing up to be a fucking bum. Why do you think I'm not putting up this video that's ready to go up? Because I talk about how my fucking kids talk to Andre when they're fucking mad at him. Oh, you're just going to grow up to be a bum like your mom. Like, what the fuck, Marcane? I never talked to you like that. Not once did I ever say stupid shit to you like that when you were growing up. Same thing with fucking Tisha. Like, how dare you guys fucking use the fact that Andre can't read very well or whatever, and then tell him that he's gonna grow up to be a fucking bum, and that nothing more than a fucking bum under a fucking tree like his mother, that you guys are washing your hands of him because he can't fucking read as well as you'd like him to, and you don't even want to give him an opportunity to learn how to fucking build anything with tools, with wood, with a few pieces of metal, or whatever's in this fucking yard. Right? Because you're just thinking about your selfish self, about what the fuck you can sell to your fucking friends, give to your fucking friends, sell to fucking neighbors, or just power trip on your mom, shit on your fucking mom, treat your mom like fucking shit while you smile up in her face and say you fucking love her with shit. Total fucking bullshit. This is not love. This is abuse. This is fucking abuse. You bring in some abusive fucking bitch into this house that robs my fucking house blind, left, right, and center. Not once, not twice, not fucking 3 times, but now she's going for the 4th fucking time. Rude as all can be. Yeah, okay. Sure. Well, no. What they did is they put on Andre and Mamari and me in a fucking concentration camp, people. And I think that's what I'm going to label this video. And I'm going to end it, okay? And Omari, you can see what's going on in here. So I kind of have to spend time with him today. especially when I'm feeding him and giving him liquids. Because if I don't, and he starts coughing, that shit can upchuck. Okay? It can upchuck. In other words, he could throw it up. And anything could happen from that. It could bring on another fucking seizure because it scares him. And then the fear, right? Fear will bring on a seizure. I noticed that with him. Right? Or he could breathe it into his lungs, depending on the position that he's in. Because he's not like us. He'll never be like us. But for whatever reason, these people, I don't know, they seem to think that they can just walk all over us because we're not fucking like them. I wouldn't want to be like them, people. So I'm just going to have to ride this storm. I don't care where this fucking storm takes me. I will fucking ride it. If it means I end up homeless in a homeless fucking shelter, by end eventually just walking away and giving that Andre his choice. Like I said, there's a video that I'm not putting up right now. I'm going to wait for a while, okay? Just because. Because we got all the hyenas. We got more than one fucking pack out there. All right? And they're in my house too, okay? Okay, so I'm going to end it on this note. Now we know that Amari can actually stand on his left foot while being held in a position where he can do it. I think Dr. Mel Prairie, the next time I see him, if it's not under an emergency situation, if it's not under an emergency situation where Amari's hip pops out and he's got no choice but to cut the bone and throw it in the garbage, because that's his only alternative to what he offers in terms of that 90% chance that nothing will go wrong and only 10% chance that it will be the way he says it's going to be. Okay? When I see Dr. Prairie next, I'm going to tell him he needs to figure out how he can get the ability and the personnel, I guess the right doctor, right, to do hip replacement on Amari. And then, because the recovery, because the recovery is a lot faster than what he's offering in terms of recovery, right? They have this thing called a stander where you put them in it laying down and then you flip it and it folds up where they're kind of standing, but they're not standing. They're all strapped in. Okay? They themselves are not putting weight on their body per se or whatever. Like they spread their legs and they strap them in and they just become stationary and they want them in that for 8 fucking hours for a day. Yeah, okay. As if. I'm sorry, Amari wasn't born to be a monkey baby in a tube. I'm just saying. And they were only going to provide that until the age of 19. And the reason that, honestly, I think that they do that, people, is because they want kids like Amari going into the school system at age 5 into kindergarten with the standard, so it's easy for them to put the child into the standard and then leave them in the standard for the full day until school is out. Because they told me, if you don't want it in the house, that's okay, because as soon as he's of age, you take it to the school and he can go to school and that's what he'll be in for the day. And they basically forced it on me. I didn't want it, but they got it anyway, and then they came and fucking delivered it, and then it sat in the playroom, and Mari didn't like it, so I didn't use it and I didn't stress him out. Well, in a situation like hip replacement, in terms of physiotherapy, to whatever, I could see where the standard, or something similar to a standard, could be helpful in the recovery process. Right? And for Dr. Murphy to say, oh, well, you know, it's not lifelong, he'd have to have another hip replacement as he ages, blah, 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 anything could happen. I'd be like, yeah, well, I think it would be less painful than what you're offering, short term and long term. I think the recovery would be short term versus long term, what you're saying that you want to do, because his recovery is long term with a 90% chance, with 30% this, 30% that, and 30% of something else going wrong, which really puts you at a 10% that is only going to be fucking successful. Let's be realistic here. And that's not to say that you wouldn't have to do it again after all those other incidences maybe from happening. Like, I just feel like, seriously, I'm going to have to try and fight for it. I don't know how to fight for it. I know he's thinking about it. I know he's thinking about what doctor could do it, if there is a doctor out there. But you'd have to lobby the government for it, people. Because they don't do that for kids. But with Amari standing up in the bathtub like that, when I was taking him out yesterday, like, you don't even know. I was so happy for him. But his hip's coming out. So, and you know what? And I'm going to end it on this note so nobody can throw it up in my fucking face. Whatever methods to slow down the hip displacement were offered to me, whether I use them or not, like the standard, right? The standard was more for, I don't know. I do believe it was more for the school, to control the child in the school, to keep them stationary, so that kids would come up and talk to him, look at him, and learn to not tease him because he was disabled. Because I was already informed by a doctor that I should correct his eyes so he doesn't get teased at school because he's cross-eyed. So we don't even talk about that anymore, right? Because they want him in school so all the normal kids can learn to respect him, as if normal adults can't respect him, how the hell are normal kids going to learn to respect him when the adults can't even respect him? I'm just saying, right? But it wouldn't have mattered if you... Stop it, you're not going to bite your hands! Even if he was in those spread eagle leg braces for as long as they wanted me to have him in, despite him breaking them or whatever it was, he'd still be facing this surgery, people. They were just trying to prolong it. But it was always a given. And because it's connected to a global study, and Canada is a fairly financially well-to-do country where they can finance it through the government, they set up the Children's Hospital to run this global study with this one particular procedure where the only alternative is cut the bone. So, of course, the parents aren't going to want that, right? So they're going to choose the study, which is an experiment, really, with a 90% failure chance when you add everything up, where the doctor would have to do it again, with the possibility of infections, bleeding out, all kinds of crazy crap. And they don't want to offer hip surgery, like hip replacement, because they're stuck on their fucking global study. That's not fair. I was so proud of him that he stood up on his leg last night. Well, yesterday. I had him in the bath in the evening. Because he's long and he's lanky. So when I hold him, his feet actually touch the bathtub. That's why I try and get somebody to help me bring him to me, versus me trying to carry him myself. But it's not like I got a good relationship with my son. Let's face it, right? I can't sit here and say the things that I'm saying, have him scowl me down outside, making threats to have the city come and finish the job, and then ask him to help me carry Amari to the fucking bathtub yet? Yeah, right. So I had to do it for myself. And when I was trying to get out, I have to be very careful. And because he's so long, he stood on his foot. And he was standing on his leg. I could feel it because I was holding him. And even if I tell Dr. McPurry, he was standing on his whole leg. His whole leg. I think hip replacement would be the best for him. With the right type of physiotherapy after the fact. Because he is capable of standing on his leg. You see, that's the thing. A lot of kids like him can't. He can't do it on the right leg, but he definitely can do it on the left leg. And he's going to lose that. Which makes him even more vulnerable. Which gives other people more reasons to accuse me of this and accuse me of that, as they mistreat me, steal from me, fucking abuse me, so they can take even more. And then tell Andre he's going to grow up to be a bum and live under a tree like his mother because he didn't learn anything. Because they took everything away from him so that he couldn't learn anything. So we know Andre's not going to grow up to be a carpenter. We know Andre's not going to learn to work with metal because my son is wiping out the yard with metal. So even if he wanted to build something, whatever he had on mind, he can't do it because it's been taken away. Because my landlord is trying to evict me. And she's just making it easy on herself because she knows all it's going to take, people, is the city to come one day and say, the yard is too green. Yeah. And then her son will say, you're taking advantage of my elderly mom because you didn't cut back all the weeds like you were supposed to. We gave you your last warning. You didn't listen to us. Field, you know what. So now you're evicted. Yeah. And Amari might be dead by that time. And at the rate I'm going, I'm not going to last that long. Fuck no. Mm-mm. And Andre, I guess he'll be under a tree, waiting for his number to be called. That you were sleeping. Being such a good boy. Just cuddling with me. Being a little cuddle bug. Not even trying to get away. No. Not even trying to get away. And Nana loves you. I sure do. I know. I'm laying here thinking about the side of the house here that he fucking took everything away from there with that fence. The fence is gonna buckle. And I'm thinking about that vinyl siding that I put there with all those things that fell out, right? I put that in there like 3, 4, 5 years ago, eh? It's been holding up all these years. And like all these little miscellaneous pieces of scrap wood or whatever, I keep them around because when I have to do fence repairs, you don't need brand new wood to put on old rotten fences, right? You know what I'm saying? And you don't know exactly what size you're going to need. You don't know if you need a 2x4. You don't know if you need a 1x1. You don't know if you need a freaking 2x2. You don't know if you need a 4x4, right? You don't know how long you need, right? To do those kind of repairs, people. And my son is throwing out everything, so you couldn't even do fucking fence repairs even if you wanted to. And they can't say the vinyl siding didn't work, because what little piece I did use as an example has been up there for like 4 or 5 years, maybe longer than that for all I know, with pieces of wood that were around the yard in terms of, I didn't go off to fucking Home Depot and buy brand new wood to fix a rotten fence. And then where that chicken wire was, because my son moved the bins that I had there with the metal in there that maybe Andre would have wanted to use to try and build something this year as he was working on his fort or whatever, just for the sake of, doing something productive versus running the fucking streets here. Being knocked out with brass knuckles because, he went to the local park. Hell, he can't even go swimming, people, at the freaking public free swimming pool without leaving, being on his bike with Jude. They're at the gas station at the light waiting for it to turn green. And out comes this little stupid kid that lives over here that stalks Andre and punched him in the face as he's waiting for the light to turn red because they just got back from the public swimming pool because that kid was there with another kid that had a baseball bat threatening to beat up fucking Andre because those parents over there in that subsidized housing teach their kids to call Andre the N-word and to stalk him. And we're talking 11 and 12, 13-year-old kids. Yeah. And my son's taking everything away. So he can't build nothing with anything. As the fence is going to start falling down now. Because it was already falling. I'm going to go back out there and I'm going to record it, right? I'm going to go back out there and record it. Because what is that? The chicken wire is holding it to one degree or another. But there's nothing to make the fence stable anymore. When I had those bins or whatever I had out there, at least it was stable. Right? And that's why the boards didn't fall, because I ran the chicken wire. And now he moved everything. He chucked everything out, or he's selling it, or he's giving it away. And that fence, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't fall down over the next couple of months. If not sooner. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he threw out my roof shingles. I had a little stack of roof shingles there because I was told to put them on the stairs because the stairs are rotting out. The back stairs are rotting out. And that will help to extend the life of them for at least a little while. I was supposed to do it last year. I got a quote for somebody to do the repairs on it, but he said no, he wouldn't even chance it because it's no good, right? So he quoted at least $800 because of that. I had him because my landlord doesn't fix the fucking gutter, right? So he came by, he quoted the gutter. I had to beg and plead for him to do the gutter. And then I asked him about the stairs. Then he quoted me $800 for the stairs to replace them. I said, no way. There's no way she's going to pay that. I don't even know if I can get $200 out of her to fix the gutter pipes. As my son is throwing out her gutter pipes right now. But I don't care about her gutter pipes. All right, they've been kicking around for all these years. Whatever, can't do nothing with them anyway. And even if we could do something with them, for like water drums and that type of thing to collect water, even if Andre wanted to do it, he can't even try it because, again, they're robbing my grandson, of learning how to do things with his hands. It's like they want him to be underneath a tree and be a bum. Yeah. How do you think kids learn to do things? They have the chance to experience shit. But Andre's not allowed to have that chance. So anyway, I'm pretty sure he threw out my shingles. So I can't even hammer them onto the stairs. And he may even thrown out the metal things that can go on the stairs to help it so that when they're wet, because they get wet, they're slimy, because of the algae and the wood rot and everything, you can slide off them, right? You slip, you trip. He probably threw those out. For all I know, maybe that's what Marina's mom came and picked up, were those fucking metal grates that goes on stairs so that you don't slip on them when they're wet. Or my son just didn't care, didn't know what they were for, thought they were useless. I just didn't know how to tack them on properly, where they'd come off. Plus, I was tired last year. I tried to get out in the yard last year, but I was tired. It was hard. I was fixing the fence last year until I finally gave up. I tried to get somebody to come do the gutter, but it didn't work out. I was waiting for Cody to come. Cody, who is a fake son to my landlord, lying to me as he was trying to trick me into thinking he was coming, when he damn well knew he wasn't coming to help me with anything in this yard. He didn't care about the fence falling down. Right? He didn't care about anything. Because they knew they were going to do this. You see, that's the thing. They knew it. That's why they've been doing it. The yard is too gray. Well, it's April, it would be. What do you want me to do? I don't know. Don't make it so gray. Okay. I'll get the old, what is that called? Black walnut stain. And I'll go around and I'll stain things to bring color to the yard. With it being so gray. A year or two later, next it was too green. What do you mean it's too green? Well, you need to cut this, be out there for a month cutting this, cutting that, cut. Okay, I did that. After they ripped up the pipes, ripped up the walkway, dug up the freaking sand, the fucking landfill, they wanted me to go in there and put everything back after I'd already done it. Then they put souk on me for 10 months to make sure the job got done. Yeah, had me out there fucking 6 days, 7 days a week, from 10 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night. Yeah, I have fucking videos on it. 10 months, people. 10 months. Oh, yeah. Do you know how easy it would be for me to sign up with MAID? The government-assisted suicide program? Well, why do you want to kill yourself, Mrs. Chorney? Well, I don't know. My landlords and their family want me dead. The city of Surrey wants me dead. My son and his wife and her family and friends want me dead. Right? The other gang stalkers in the community that are scrounging around for body parts, if they're not scooped up first by the fucking whoever's already wants me dead, besides my son. My son wouldn't want me dead for illegal organ harvesting, but I could see the Gill fucking clan would want it, because I've already got 2 dead that had their bodies pillaged, so, you gotta contend with that group, right? That would be, the fucking police, freaking ambulance, and the healthcare workers, right? I'm just saying. Do you know how easy it would? Plus, I'm poor. So, government just sees me as a burden, wouldn't mind getting rid of me. So that's another reason. Poor people that have no money and live out in the streets or barely hanging on. They have a right to kill themselves now because they're poor. I'm also going blind, so who wants to live because I'm going blind? So that would be another reason. It would be so easy. So easy to sign up. I have more than enough excuses to do it. Yeah. Wouldn't all those people just love that? Eh? And then as soon as they're done pillaging what's left, including Amari and his body, setting Andre up for the next fucking pillage party, they'll just go on to another household and do it to somebody else and start all over again. It's the only way they know how to feel good about themselves and bring in extra cash and then call it good business. So basically I live in a concentration camp now. Okay, this is not a home. This is a fucking concentration camp. I'm either going to get the gas chamber or I'm going to get executed with me being on my knees, or I'm going to get lynched. Something's going to happen.